Welcome to the special public meeting of March 16, 2026 of the Township of Washington Council. Adequate notice of the meeting was given in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act by the Township Clerk to at least two newspapers on February 24, 2026, amended March 10, 2026, March 11, 2026, and this notice has been posted on the Township Bulletin Board, electronic message board, WCTV, and on the Township website. Please notify the municipal clerk for any disability requirements necessary for attendance to council meetings. The fire exits are located through the double doors to your right and through the door on your left. Please silence all cell phones. If you are unable to attend the council meeting in person and would like a topic to be addressed at a council meeting, please visit www.twpofwashington.us, contact us tab, click on mayor and council, and send an email to contact all council members at once. Can everyone please stand for a salute to the flag? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Councilman Casio.
Here.
Councilman Sears.
Here.
Councilman Ullman.
Here.
Councilwoman Velez.
Here.
Council President DeSena.
Here. Let the record reflect also in attendance Mayor Peter Calamari, Township Administrator Mark DiCarlo, and Township Clerk Susan Witkowski, and Township Attorney Siobhan Bailey.
Yeah, because it's a budget meeting. Sorry, Siobhan.
We're going to go into closed session for resolution number 26-200, a settlement agreement, 660 Pascack Realty LLC,
And
and affordable
affordable housing litigation.
housing litigation. The Township Council anticipates that an open session will be necessary following the closed session. Motion to enter into closed session.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, I have to ask you to step out. You can go sit in the senior center until we'll summon you back. Public meeting. Steve, could we do it? Sue wants us to do it.
What's that?
Motion to reconvene.
Oh, so moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. General approval of minutes, none. General public comment, limit to 5 minutes. Motion to open the public comment period.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
If anybody would like to come up and address the council at this time for anything that is not on the agenda. What would you like to talk about, Mr. Agnello? I think I know.
I know the agenda that was had.
Do you have any, why don't you come up?
Is there anything on the agenda regarding the property at Washington home?
Yes, it's on,
So we can't discuss it?
you'll be able to discuss it once we get to the 2604 ordinance 2604.
Will that happen tonight?
Yes, it will happen shortly.
I'll go park myself.
What's that?
This is not public hearing,
Oh,
this is just introduction.
Oh, we're just introducing. Yeah, you can do it on 2602, Mr. Agnello.
Yeah.
Anybody else like to come up this time? Motion to close the public comment period.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ordinances, adoption, second reading. Ordinance number 26-01, an ordinance amending Chapter 540, Article 21 entitled Affordable Housing and Article 22 entitled Mandatory Affordable Housing Set Aside of the Code of the Township of Washington. Resolution number 26-201, authorizing second reading and opening of continued public hearing for ordinance 2601. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Would anybody like to come up? Do I have to do roll call first, or do we can ask for?
No, yeah, you should do roll call.
All right, let's do roll call.
Councilman Casio?
Yes.
Councilman Sears?
Yes.
Councilman Ullman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Velez?
Yes.
Council President DeSena?
Yes. Would anybody like from the public to come up and discuss 2601? Seeing no one, motion to adopt ordinance number 2601.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Casio?
Yes.
Councilman Sears?
Yes.
Councilman Ullman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Velez?
Yes.
Council President DeSena?
Yes. Ordinance number 26-02, an ordinance of the Township of Washington, Bergen County, New Jersey, amending Chapter 580, zoning of the Township Code by creating new AH1 and AH2 affordable housing districts to permit inclusionary townhouse development on Block 2329, Lot 2, and Block 2110, Lot 1, and Lots 6 through 11. Increase the permitted residential density on Block 3201, Lot 3, and amend the required,
3202.01.
Block 3202.01, Lot 3, and amend the required affordable housing set aside for Block 3505, Lot 1, in accordance with the Township's Housing Element and Fair Share Plan. Resolution number 26-202, authorize second reading and opening of continued public hearing for ordinance 2602. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Could I just note
Sure.
that it's block 3505, lot
How
1,
about 34?
3405.
I can only read what I'm given, Mr. Elman. I appreciate you having the,
We all have the same thing. It's 3405. You're no different, you're no special.
I read 3405.
You said 3505.
Oh, my.
It's
Okay.
okay.
I caught him on the other one, so thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Elman. It's Block 3405, yes. Even though that's what I said. But if you guys want to say I said
Go
3505?
to the videotape.
Yeah.
That's why we tape these things.
I'm sorry.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Councilman Casio?
Yes.
Councilman Sears?
Yes.
Councilman Ullman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Velez?
Yes.
Council President DeSena?
Yes.
Yes, sorry. I'm so upset about all this stuff. Sorry, Ms. Velez, but I'm so upset about all this.
I'll be
It's like
the
driving me
same
crazy.
with Les.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's driving me crazy. Mr. Agnello, you can come up now if you'd like.
About to do my name and everything? or-
Yes,
Just your name. You don't have to give us your address.
Mike Agnello from Mason Street. I'm just here to ask a question. I started this about a year ago with the mayor in his office discussing, what could we possibly do behind your house that would make the neighborhood happy? And, I said, well, single-family houses or anything along those lines, and it was suggested, how about like townhouses? And I said, that's fine, okay? And it's kind of like, it reminds me of my dad used to say, if you give somebody an inch, they're gonna take a yard. Well, recently I've heard that the town planner, or the town itself has agreed upon incorporating a lot from Mason Street to be put in with the lots on Pascack Road so that they can get enough acreage to build 32 units. I mean, I don't understand why we can't go with 26 or 25 units that the lot holds, but that's your business.
Well, just so you're aware, Mr. Agnello, they started at 70,
70,
70.
70, okay.
So
But at
that's, so we have to, like you just said, like your dad was
Sure.
teaching you, have to give and take.
Well,
So
they could start at 300 townhouses.
They could start at 1,000, but we got them down
To
to
put them on,
32.
to put them on 2.5 acres would be a little.
I understand, but I'm just
unimaginable.
giving you where we started at
But
and
that
what we've been
lot,
working on.
but that 2.5 acres holds something, okay? And the town has agreed to give them another half an acre or 3/4 of an acre so they can incorporate more townhouses. But
There is no construction going on the Meistein property of housing.
that's exactly why I'm here. I was told originally that the house is gonna come down and it would be open space. Okay? Recently, within the last 7 to 10 days, I now hear there's a possibility of a rear entrance coming
There's
out.
no
to
rear
Meissen Street
entrance on Meistein Street.
and possible parking.
There is a possibility for
Okay.
parking that would be required as part of the residential site improvement standards.
Right.
But we've put a caveat in the ordinance, which we'll introduce later, that the visitor parking on Meistein Street, after 1 year, after the completion of the development of the multifamily housing on block 2110, lots 6 through 11, the township shall conduct a traffic study analysis to determine if lot 1 may be needed to be developed with a to-be-determined number of visitor spaces based on the analysis of demand for such visitor spaces serving the development. So we're holding it in abeyance. And if it's needed, because, you know, the townhouses do need visitor parking, right? So there's no place, they're limited spaces.
I'm just trying to imagine the situation of it. It's my opinion that if the town was to decide to put that parking on the other side of the property, they won't want that parking anymore.
Which side of the
You're
property?
putting that parking 60 feet from Seasons parking lot. And Meissen Street now is a big parking lot for them. And you know as well as I do, and if you don't know, I'm telling you, that parking lot is going to become nothing but an additional parking lot for Seasons. And that parking lot is 15 feet off my bedroom. And if you have any respect for the people on Meissen Street, we'd like to stay private there. You know, you want to use the lot for open space, that doesn't affect us. But if it becomes a parking lot, what are you doing to the value of the home on the house directly across the street on the corner? My house next door, the house across the street.
Well, your house isn't exactly next door to that.
My house is right next door. That property line is 15 feet from my bedroom. And just imagine Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night valet parking or employee parking. Forget the
There's
valet.
no, so just so we're clear, this is a development for a homeowners association for townhouses.
Okay, and who's gonna police what cars in the lot? So when the chef from Season parks in the lot and walks across the street, who's gonna know if he's a guest in the condos or a guest of Seasons? Who's gonna police that? Can I do it? I'll take cameras, give me equipment, I'll give you all the information you need. But they're not gonna be using that park for that lot mostly for guest parking. And we all know Jimmy. I mean, everybody knows him. He's a very smart man. Let's put the parking lot 60 feet from my property. He's using the bank. What's going to happen when he loses at the bank?
Well, he owns,
He's coming to my lot.
he owns the bank.
Okay. Well, just trying to express my displeasure. Hopefully you guys would understand
We're
that.
trying as much as we can, Mr. Agnello, with the confines. of what
I
we're
honestly
doing.
believe that.
We've
but-
really, this council, and I thank the council and the administration for, you know, we had a similar version. You were at all the zoning board meetings previously where we were going to put the additional parking, right? We weren't going to build it along, you know, behind your house and along
Right.
Northgate because we didn't think we needed it, but we showed it with the same caveat. Hey, it's in a year. If we need it, you need to build it, right? I don't know if you remember that testimony, so we're doing the same thing here.
But this guy to me is the closest thing to God. He can't walk on water, but he could turn a C1 waterway into a ditch. He could do a lot of things, all right, without you people even knowing.
Thank you, Mr. Agnello. Would anybody else like to come up and discuss 2602 at this time?
Good evening, everyone. Christopher Minks from Russo Development. I'm General Counsel and Chief Legal Officer for Russo. Russo is the contract purchaser of the Valley National site, 370 Pascack Valley Road. Ironically, we're talking about the property adjacent to Seasons, and I'm actually the attorney that fought Carmine Lampe, who was representing the applicant, when he originally backfilled that property. And I, through your planning board and I believe your engineer, we confirmed that at the time, at least, it was a C1 tributary. We stopped that CVS project. So that was a different lifetime. I'm here today, though, to talk about the ordinance as it affects the Valley National Bank property. Mr. Mayor, you'll recognize, and I know Ms. Bailey and I have spoken many times, as have we with Joe Burgess, your planner, about this very site and about our proposed project for in excess of a year now. And going back to June of last year, we started submitting some site plans and renderings and exploring the ability to develop some yield on the site for a townhome project. We have a number of issues that we raised back in or about June or July when we first got the draft of your fourth round HEFSP that had some bulk standards that conflicted with some of the plans that we had shared. As you know, I burdened you with a letter late on Friday evening.
But did you burden us with a letter previously?
Not this council, but we certainly had discussed with
But
members
was it ever
of the governing body, as well as your planner and your council, about issues that we had with the limiting schedule as it applied originally, even on the HEFSP.
Because until Friday, I was
Yes.
not aware of any of your issues other than the height issue.
Which we conceded to.
Conceded to,
Yeah,
correct.
and candidly,
But that was
the
the
height issue
only,
was
that
an
was the
error.
only issue that that on this dais that we were made aware of up until Friday when we got your other.
I appreciate that, so I can't see you, I can see the words. I certainly appreciate that. Nevertheless, we did start that process and made objection to, and again, it was the way we made objection because we did not challenge your fourth round process, because this has been a collaborative process with the township since, like I said, in excess of a year ago.
Mhm.
The concerns that we have are merely to try and tweak some of the provisions that are proposed in the ordinance to have them compliant with the many sets of plans that we had shared that produced a project that would render a yield of 15 affordable housing units. At this time, the limitation of 72 units on this 4.9 acre site is somewhat arbitrary. It does not comply with any of the plans that were shared. We originally started at a yield that was somewhat higher than that, and we came down to a 73 unit plan. Originally, it was identified as 74. We did the math, we corrected it was 73. We actually made that correction in your fourth round plan, which recited 74 units on the site. And we said, no, it's actually 73 units. In the letter I've outlined, I'm not going to argue it now before you, but in the letter we outlined why the geometry, the architecture, and the design of the site, that type of a stacked townhome yield would not result in 72 units. It can't. You can't simply lop off one unit because they're modular units. So there's 2 per unit module in a building of multiple modules. Is the quick and dirty of the math. So it is a 73, and it has always been a 73 unit plan to yield that 15 unit affordable, because the 73 units equates at a 20% set aside to 14.6 units. You round up and you get your 15 units. The other items, and I took the opportunity to go over the ordinance, and I promised Siobhan that I would share it with her, to make the amendments that we're seeking. And I acknowledge that you want to get this done. You want to get this in under the wire for the program's deadline. We're not trying to compromise that. We're trying to continue the collaborative dialogue so that we can get this project built as it was intended to give you the affordable housing yield you are intended to receive. The differential we're talking about is 0.2 of a unit per acre. So we're not asking to go to 74, 75 or push the envelope. We're asking to be able to build what we had projected and what we had depicted to you for over a year. The other items are a 15-foot set aside for parking along the borough's DPW property. Mr. DiCarlo will tell you that we work very collaboratively with Ms. Bailey with the borough to get you the access that you needed, allow you to change the grade, affecting some of the site, and really kind of improve the DPW yard. What we're asking for is the 20-foot set aside for parking that's attributable to the entirety of the project be reduced only on the DPW side.
Okay.
We are respecting the buffer 100% and actually agreed and tweaked the project during some of the early meetings in order to increase the buffer along the residential side because we want to be good to our neighbors. To that, we're actually working with the May family, the Paris family, and I don't recall the name of the other family well in the back of the property. They have encroachment, some significant encroachments on the Valley property, including the basketball court, including retaining walls, fences for a pool, and we're working with those families to resolve those encroachments at very little, if any, cost to them, because we're not looking to recoup cost because the loss of acreage is minor, but that's one of the reasons why there had to be a reduction in the minimum lot acreage, for example, below 5 acres, because we're giving property.
So you're giving that, the encroachment is being given to the owners?
The only cost that they'll incur is whatever subdivision plat costs that have to be generated in order to record those gifts, but effectively, we're granting them that square footage of acreage, correct? So Valley National Bank, because it's still Valley's property. The other items that we're looking to continue a dialogue with you to resolve are, again, somewhat benign. They really have no adverse impact on the community and certainly none to the borough. The additional 1 unit is accretive to the borough. It's a taxpayer unit, it's a for sale unit, and it does not move the needle on the density per acre. The 15-foot setback is only along the commercial side of the property.
That's the north side.
The north side, that is south side.
Yeah.
South side is the
It's by
DPW. Yeah, the north side is the May property and another residential
This is
property.
south side.
That preserves the wooded buffer as well as preserves the 20-foot setback.
So the western side and the northern side stay buffered.
Correct, absolutely. Well, the western side has an expansive buffer.
Correct,
because there's the brook that we can't build.
But it remains.
But that remains untouched. The other issue that we were looking to address is somewhat straightforward. We never proposed townhouses, and candidly, you could never fit townhouses. The volume of townhouse product of units that we've proposed in a townhouse structure, which is a very different building class than townhomes. It sounds silly, sounds like semantics, but it's actually a very different thing. It's like a single family home as opposed to a garden apartment. It is a different building class. So we just wanted to clarify that the stacked townhome project that we proposed for the last year is what was intended here, not townhouses. You wouldn't fit a dozen townhouses on this site. It's a very different product. Again, all of the requests that we've made are in that vein. The parking setback, the townhouse use, and then in your 4th round plan is where the 35-foot height issue came up. We literally went back to the drawing board, studied with the actual townhome building team, and confirmed that we could comply with that 35-foot height. But the 4th round plan had a 3-story and 35-foot height limit. The ordinance proposes a 2.5-story and 35-foot limit. That effectively precludes, ironically, the very building that will include the 15 affordable housing units. So we'll still be respecting the 35-foot height, but those units technically have 3 modular units per module. So that would trip the 3-story element of your height standard in the ordinance. So we're not proposing 3 stories and a height in excess of 35 feet, but we can't comply with technical 2.5-story, even though we will comply with the 35-foot height. So I hope that you can understand that. We're more than happy to sit down, show you the engineering, remind you of what the plan has been. These are not efforts to better our plan, Mr. Mayor, I assure you. These are efforts to keep it in accordance with what we promoted to you, what we proposed, and what we've been working with you on for this long period of time. And with that, my request is simply what I ended my letter with. I understand you're going to move today, and subject to others that may have comment, we simply want to maintain the dialogue so we can refine the ordinance so as not to hinder this project and jeopardize the ability for us to deliver those affordable housing units.
So I guess, Mr. Minks, we're going to proceed with adopting this ordinance tonight because we're under a statutory timeline to
I
meet
appreciate
that deadline. And then we will discuss with Ms. Bailey and Mr. Burgess your requests, and if they're valid, that you've been talking about them for a year, we'll entertain, review of the ordinance to make modifications. So is that a fair statement, Ms. Taylor?
Yes,
And we'd be happy to come in and have a sit
Oh,
down. to go
we'll
over
ask
it.
you, we'll ask you to come in.
There's no reason, no, I don't mean for an appearance. I mean, to come in, sit down, have a work session.
Yeah, we'll have to have a session with our planner and.
100%.
So,
We're more than happy.
but
to
for
do
now, we are under a statutory deadline to submit this, which I'm sure you're aware of.
I'm certainly aware of it. I respect it. And Ms. Bailey and I had a good conversation about it earlier. I fully understand where you're coming from, but we just wanted to appear, put context to my letter.
I would have liked to have your letter 2 months ago, but
I
it was.
certainly appreciate that. I would have loved to have sent it. It would have been a different process.
So thank you, Mr. Miggs.
Thank you.
Anything from Mr. Miggs? Okay, thank you. Anybody else like to come up and address ordinance 2602? Seeing no one, motion to adopt ordinance 2602.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilman Casio.
Yes.
Councilman Sears.
Yes.
Councilman Ullman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Velez.
yes,
Council President DeSena.
Yes. Ordinance number 2603, an ordinance amending Chapter 513 entitled Development Fees of the Ordinances of the Township of Washington. Resolution number 26-203, authorizing second reading and opening of continued public hearing for ordinance 2603. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilman Casio.
Yes.
Councilman Sears.
Yes.
Councilman Ullman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Velez.
yes,
Council President DeSena.
Yes. Would anybody like to come up and address 26-203 at this time? Seeing no one, motion to adopt ordinance 2603.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilman Casio.
Yes.
Councilman Sears.
Yes.
Councilman Ullman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Velez.
yes,
Council President DeSena.
Yes. Introduction, first reading, ordinance number 26-04, an ordinance of the Township of Washington, Bergen County, New Jersey, amending ordinance 2602 as to section 4 only, creating a new chapter 580-38.3 AH2 Affordable Housing District, and establishing development regulations for block 2110, lot 1, and lots 6 through 11. Motion to introduce and pass ordinance number 2604 at first reading by title.
So moved.
Second.
So I want to make, just read into the record on page 2 of the ordinance, under D-11, the maximum building height should read 2.5 stories, 35 feet. And number 3 is 32 units, all to be located on blocks, block 2110, lots 6 through 11, with no units on lot 1. That's it. Oh, and also, for visitor parking on lot 1 year after the completion of the development of the multifamily housing on block 2110, lots 6 through 11, the township shall conduct a traffic analysis to determine if lot 1 may be needed to be developed with a to-be-determined number of visitor spaces based on the analysis of demand for such visitor spaces serving the development. Any other discussion, ladies and gentlemen? Roll call?
Councilman Casio.
Yes.
Councilman Sears.
Yes.
Councilman Ullman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Velez.
yes,
Council President DeSena.
Yes. Resolution number 26-204, authorizing publication of ordinance number 2604 and scheduling a public hearing. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilman Casio.
Yes.
Councilman Sears.
Yes.
Councilman Ullman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Velez.
yes,
Council President DeSena.
Yes. Resolution number 26-205, authorizing referral of amendment of ordinance 26-02, section 4 only, creating chapter 580-38.3 AH2, establishing development regulations for block 2110, lot 1, and lots 6 through 11 of the ordinances of the Township of Washington to the planning board for review and recommendation. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
I'll second it. Roll call?
Councilman Casio.
Yes.
Councilman Sears.
Yes.
Councilman Ullman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Velez.
yes,
Council President DeSena.
Yes. Resolution number 26-206, authorize commitment to adopt any outstanding or revised implementing ordinances or resolutions. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilman Casio.
Yes.
Councilman Sears.
Yes.
Councilman Ullman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Velez.
yes,
Council President DeSena.
Yes. Thank you. 2026 budget.
Let's get Mr. Corcoran on him.
We just got to get Mr. Corcoran on Zoom. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Take care.
That was interesting. That's good, interesting.
Thank you very much, Meg.
Steve, can I pass this down?
No. Mr. Mayor, I'd like to dismiss Ms. Bailey since she's not needed for the budget.
Yeah, make a step, make a step.
Is that okay if we dismiss Ms. Bailey for the budget hearing? Thank you. Thank you.
I'll get a money's worth stay.
Otherwise, get out.
Did win the New York Half yesterday. How did you do?
You need me?
This is from Mr. DeCarlo.
Oh, thank you.
More? 151.
Mr. DeCarlo.
Good for you.
From Mr. DeCarlo.
Mr. Corcoran, I got it.
No, just,
Do we need him or Mr. DeCarlo, do you want to start your?
I can certainly start
Part.
without him. One, I just want to express my appreciation to the council and Council President DeSena for allowing the department heads to briefly go through their capital requests this evening and highlight some of the more important account lines that may have a little bit increase, give the opportunity for some back and forth if the council so wishes. And with that, if I may please invite Fire Chief Aiello, OEM Coordinator President Kenny, Police Chief Mr. Bakar, and Dan Scudieri, who's here as Director of DPW as well.
Is Mr. Waller joining us?
No, he made it till about 5:45 and he called me and said he's not feeling well. So Mr. Scudieri will be able to handle both. And then they're actually probably the quickest. What I passed out to the council, I'll give a copy down here is I had Mr. Buno, our grant writer, go through all of the requests, whether it was capital 2026 or the 3-year plan, and jot down notes if there would be something available, or if there would not be something available at this point. So it's just notes for the council, and as we go through, I'll be able to do that.
So we got to do Mr. Scudieri first?
Yes. Just give me a second. This is just for you guys. Those are other notes.
Chief Bakar, could you slide the microphone to Mr. Scudieri so he can go first?
Council, if you don't mind, just go into the small binder and we'll start. They're tabbed out, so if you just want to go to recreation. Dan, if you'd like to bring the council very quickly through your request for the basketball court at Clark Field.
Okay, yeah, this year I would like to see Clark Field's basketball court done. I've asked a couple of years in a row, but I didn't get approved for it. But as you could see, I'd like to invite any of you guys just go over and take a look at it. I mean, I didn't get a chance to look at it after the snow melted after this winter, but I'm assuming it's just gotten worse. And I'd like to see if we could get it done this year, especially this year.
The estimated cost from D&L is $88,600. Because it's over the $53,000 threshold, we would have to go out to bid. I am requesting a grand total of $95,000 because the $88,000 for D&L, correct, Dan, does not include benches and hoops and nets, and I think does it include the striping, the lining as well?
Not the striping.
Right. So we're respectfully requesting.
No, it doesn't include, according to what I'm reading, it includes it says remove 3 basketball posts, install 2 basketball posts backwards and rims,
The striping is on
restripe to
it?
existing layout 3-point game line.
Oh, yeah.
It's all
Great.
included. It's all included. Mr.
Perfect.
Not
Yes,
the benches.
Just not the benches and the hoops and the net. So again, not that we're
No, it
asking.
does include the hoops and the nets.
It does, but not
No, I have
the
does
benches.
not, in my notes, does not include the benches and the
I-
hoops. I think it has the removal.
And the second line below is install 2.
They're
basketball-
installing them, but they're not, it's not the cost of them. That's how I understood it.
I called
It
them
says
several
furnish all
times.
equipment, labor, and material. It says right in their quote. So I don't know why we wouldn't think.
I called them several times, and they didn't call me back.
No, it's
asking
saying,
for
it says right here,
specifics.
furnish all equipment. So the equipment, if he's installing it, he's got to supply it.
That's not how I understood it, Dan. Did you
I-
understand it?
Like I said, I tried to call them, and they never returned a call.
We could certainly refine it. Again, not that I'm expecting you to vote on it this evening, but my apologies. I did understand it as not including.
But they are restriping also, so is he not giving us the paint to do that?
Yeah. Good one.
I mean,
Any other questions for Dan? And I'll move on to the DPW request of the, we're going to call it the field rake. So
we have a grant for the Memorial and Clark Field ADA, Dan, you want to talk about that?
that's not in his wheelhouse.
It's under rec in my budget.
No fault is him, if you'd like me to speak of it now.
Sure, yeah, well, it's the next page, so.
Yeah, okay. So Township of Washington was awarded a grant of $80,704 from the Bergen County Open Space Park Improvement for ADA improvements to Memorial Field and Clark Field. There's a 50% match required for this grant. Total project cost is estimated at $200,000. Grant award is obviously less than half the expected cost of the project. We're just requesting the balance. And the second paragraph just explains the Memorial Field ADA component. That includes ADA seating, 2 ADA parking spaces, and an access ramp for mobility devices. We're serve all members of the Township of Washington community because persons with disabilities, their families, and caregivers will now have much greater barrier-free access and accommodations to this public facility. The Clark Field ADA improvement component will provide for the installation of barrier-free ADA-compliant playground equipment and rubber safety surfacing for a more inclusive recreational experience.
Where are we building that?
At Clark Field. So that would be at Clark Field. We would be replacing some of the playground equipment that's at Clark Field and replacing it with ADA equipment. And just also to know, we do have a grant request out to try and get some of that 120 back that the council will hopefully fund.
Thank you.
So we did ask for obviously more money than the 80,000 that we were awarded, but of course we're happy and appreciative that Bergen County gave us the 80,000 just to complete the project. We would need the balance of 120.
Can you just speak to like the grand scheme of Memorial Field and as it relates to the ADA compliance? We sort of touched on this, I think, in an earlier meeting where my recollection was we put in ADA parking. This is an expansion of that, but is it all focused down at the southeast corner by the clubhouse?
That's where it is now. I think our plan would be to focus it back up along the north side, along the basketball court. And then the other grant, the other part of the project would be to put a sidewalk around the entire field. So that way there's access to all the different stages of both bleachers, the back, I would call that the northwest,
Yes.
the baseball field.
Yeah,
Baseball field, not the softball field.
The diagonal.
We want to make a total oval, so to speak, so people have a walking. It's also.
Do we have a plan for that, Mr. DeCarlo?
I think we probably put together like a rough.
Can we
I
see
don't
that
even know if we
conceptual?
had-
Because I don't know, I would just like to see how we get behind the softball and the building and everything.
Yeah, I don't
Through the
remember if we
parking
had
lot.
a conceptual design. I think we just had it in writing, but I'll have to check because our engineer, Glenn Beckmeyer Jr., was involved in it. But again, by the time it was, awarded and stuff, it's probably been about a good year now. So
We had the
I will go
old
back and look at it.
MKL study that had that on that plan.
So
And handicap parking was supposed to be on Cleveland, right next to the playground, with a path, Cleveland going straight to the playground, because,
Wait, we're talking
No,
about
no, talking about
Memorial.
Clark
We're
Field.
talking about Memorial right now.
oh, sorry,
So it would tie this work as it's sort of specified, not the future state. This work would just tie in that the east side of the park, essentially.
Yes.
It ties it together.
Yes. So I also requested Mr. Buno to provide a list of our outstanding grants, and we have the 2025 Local Recreation Improvement Grant in the amount of $153,550 was filed for improvements to Memorial Field, including a walking path around the perimeter that would link various seating, restrooms, and other features. Sorry, I just don't remember off the top of my head if we had to submit a conceptual design for it. I feel like we did because we had the engineer involved.
Well, how do you come up with the conceptual
reason,
amount
yeah.
if you didn't come up with
Yeah.
something?
Yeah, I know he obviously helped with the concrete pricing and stuff. I just don't remember off the top of my head if we drew it. But that's like the second part of it. And it also would help give us some funding back for the $120,000.
I mean, this sounds like a no-brainer to me, but I guess I would just like to understand sort of how this and maybe the grant you just referred to, how those two tie together, and then if there's a larger sort of plan, but,
Yes.
you know, where we have money and where we plan to put a shovel in the ground in the next however many months or, you know, year, what that looks like.
You got it.
Mr. DeCarlo, just, I got a call from one of the residents, the PSE&G floodlights, which are around the basketball courts. There's 4 floodlights at the corners of the basketball courts.
They're out?
They're out.
Okay,
One of
so
them, the wire is hanging, so I guess we need PSE&G to come do some maintenance on them.
you're talking about the tall?
No, the short poles, there's 4.
Oh, they're actually PSC&G poles.
Correct.
Okay, got it.
So
And
we
they're
have
where? They're around what?
The basketball court right in front of Memorial Field. They've been out for a while, so one of the residents had contacted me, so
Okay,
I figured I'd wait till tonight and tell you now.
got it. Any other questions on the grant match request?
Any other questions from anybody else? Mr. Scudieri, can you continue with your field break, I guess?
Yeah, we can go to the DPW. For everyone, there's a DPW tab. And essentially DPW is asking for a total of $45,000 for a field rake. I'll let Dan go into a little bit. The cost is under the ESCNJ co-op. The estimated cost is $41,000. We're requesting $45,000 to be funded for the project, just for, inflation of prices since we started preparing this back in November. And it's all yours, Dan.
Okay, so I was told DPW needed a new rake. They've asked for it, I think a couple of years ago. They skipped a year. They needed other things. Now it's back on the table this year, and they'd like to replace the one that they have now.
So the Field Pro in the quote, is that sort of like is that the motorized aspect of it? Is it like a quad or some type
It's a
of?
three-wheel, yes, that is it. That is correct, Mr. Chairman.
So do we have the items below it that total 16,000 or 17,000? Can those be used on a piece of equipment that we currently have?
I'm sorry, he probably doesn't have the call in front of him. I apologize. Mr. Lawler was going to handle this, so he's kind of like.
No,
Well,
I can answer.
Yeah,
You're buying the unit all built out this way, Mr. Ullman. It's like buying a car and, upgrading the package, all the pieces. So they're buying the Field Pro 6040 and then they're getting the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 attachments that get added to that piece of equipment.
those attachments wouldn't fit
They
on.
wouldn't fit on anything else. They're
'Cause
permanently attached to that unit. Or, they're made for that unit. They're not interchangeable with other units.
That unit's old too, so these pieces
Yeah,
are.
you're buying that unit with all those options.
And I understand it's a piece of equipment that would be trailered from location to location.
Mhm.
It's also something that DPW's, not that they've been requesting it and turning it, and the council has been turning it down, but it has, since I've come here, something they've kind of hoped for, and we pushed it off because they've had priorities that were needed, like a truck or a plow or something like that. So this has been one of their desires for a couple of years now, several years.
Would that piece of equipment have secondary use?
The older one? But this
Well,
new-
let's start with, we start with the older one and then the new one.
The old one is
Secondary use.
not,
You know,
not
okay.
they don't use for anything. Just the fields, just to prep the fields.
No, I imagine maybe we can auction it off, but from what I understand, Mr. DeSantis, the baseball organization owns 2.
We own 3.
You own 3 and we own 1?
Correct.
Okay. So, ours, the townships, we could certainly try to auction it off, but this I understand is kind of like a Cadillac version.
Yes, we have 1 Cadillac and 2 pre-owned that
We would try to auction off that old one. I mean, I wouldn't.
So there's a value to everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure the Gov auction, somebody will buy it.
Somebody needs something.
What does something like that go for an auction?
Oh,
Right,
it's
peanuts. It's
very
not,
old.
we're not subsidizing this.
$8.
Well,
Want to level off your property?
And it's an older unit.
Yeah, it's old. It's seen,
old.
it's seen its days, this unit.
It's old.
Does this,
Yeah, we have a unit, Mr. DeCarlo, just so you know, we have a Smithco machine at
Clark, yep.
at Sherry, and at Gardner.
Gardner. Okay, I didn't know about Sherry, but Gardner I knew about.
so how does this factor into the investments we made last year for redoing the fields?
It would help out significantly,
Yeah.
especially at Memorial, because that's really where they need it. Because Memorial is the biggest of the infield, so it'd be a big benefit.
Would it allow the DPW to maintain the field without bringing in outside resources?
Well, they
What
maintain it now without
they maintain-
outside resources.
Well, when we rebuilt it, when we rejuvenated it?
Yes, okay. yeah.
Whatever the word is.
Yeah.
We had someone outside do it, obviously.
Yeah.
In order to maintain it going forward.
This would be a huge help, especially at Memorial and,
Okay.
so I mean, the DPW does a phenomenal job. The crew that Mr. Scudieri has on, that does the fields on a daily basis, do a phenomenal job. They treat it like it's their backyards, which is very important. They do the best they can with the equipment they have, and thank you for what they do. But what happened last year, Mr. Ullman, was, the company that came in actually like laser screened, with survey precision and leveled off the fields because they hadn't been done in over 10 years. And eventually in 10 years, we'll be looking to, they're going to have to be redone again. They don't last forever. The clay gets old. It's got to be replaced or rejuvenated, like you said. The lines will, the sod gets killed and so forth. So.
All right, thank you. That concludes Mr. Scudieri's section. Just to recap, we're going to look over that DNL quote, see if we can refine it a little bit. If it does, in fact, include those things that I didn't, my apologies, I thought it did not. And I'm going to try and get you some more information, maybe a conceptual design, so there's a clear understanding at Memorial Field. And I think we're good on the rate.
Thank you, Mr. Scudieri.
Thank you. And just when Dan's here, if you guys, his budget for recreation is pretty straightforward. There was one line that we did want to increase from 3,500 to 4,500, and it's for the teen program. And I just wanted the council to have the opportunity to talk to Dan if they wanted any other type of justification. I think I can handle it when you get to it. But, was there anything you wanted to say about the teen program, Dan?
No.
Okay, good. It's hard to budget for that because we have a shared service with, well, I don't know if you call it a shared service, I guess it's with Westwood. So they run the program out of their facility. According to the contract, we have to pay $500 a year for like incidentals. And then it's always $500. And then we pay 40% of what the fees are for the counselors, and they pay 60%. So they're kind of in control of how much the counselors get paid and how many get hired. And we never really know until they send us the bill, because it always depends on how many kids there are. So what we do normally is, because we don't know, I ask for 3,500, and then if it's above that, we use a little bit out of the miscellaneous line. But we like to not do that this year. So last year we spent a total of about 4,200 on the teen program. So that's why I'm asking to go from 35 to 45.
So it's got you can substantiate while we're doing it.
But in the miscellaneous line, we like to use that. So his attendance at the League of Municipalities, there was also, I think, an organization you wanted to join for recreation. It allowed for him to have some money to go to training, and then also have a little bit, I can't think of any materials or pieces of equipment you'd have to purchase for recreation, but it would give him some time for that. So again, if there was any questions, it's on page 47 before Dan excuses himself.
I'm okay.
Is there any impact with today's update on summer rec?
With his recreation lines? No.
Or the summer
They're
recreation.
totally exclusive of each other.
They go through,
They go through Community Pass. So the registration for summer camp pays for everything we need.
And it's a trust. It goes through a trust.
Yeah, like we wouldn't use his recreation miscellaneous line to purchase something we need for summer camp. It will all be done through the trust.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate
I need
it.
1 second. I'll be right back.
You want me to wait, right?
You can stop. I just gotta stand for something real quick.
Okay. Do you want me to wait or? We're gonna do OEM next. It might be important for him to hear.
Who's back?
Oh,
I just had to ask him.
oh, okay.
Sad thing, but I can't discuss it.
Got it. OEM Coordinator Clayton Kenny, thank you for being here this evening. He had one budget line that we wanted to, we're not asking for an increase from last year, but just so we try to keep it funded at what it was. If we could bring your attention to page 32 of the budget, that is the OEM's only line, and I think it's called OEM miscellaneous. But he wanted to explain a piece of equipment, which is called the portable Wi-Fi hotspot, to the council, and I'll turn it over to you, Corporal.
Good evening. So in order for this line item in my operational budget to make sense, part of that explanation has to come from the capital request that you see here. Part of the capital request, we'll touch on the traffic light after the fact. The police radio upgrade for equipment and labor. What's planned with this is a ability that our radios currently have. Some of the radios at the police department have it now, but not all of them. When we go to key up on a radio in order to hear a radio or to be able to transmit, when we key up on that radio, the signal goes from the radio, it goes out to a cell tower, then to either dispatch center or another radio, whatever the case may be, it comes back, and that's how the communication happens. A lot of the times with the new construction of the buildings, or even some of the older construction, some of the schools, that radio signal can't get out, and we're not able to get out those crucial messages on our radios if we're operating inside a building,
May I
inside a
ask-
school.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
to interrupt. Should we be having this discussion in closed session?
Because in the past, we've done this in closed session because it does involve possible.
That's the extent of it, is to extend our signal.
Because we were told when we put the new radios in and Chief Picaro was in that all those issues were resolved.
Some of the issues that.
Well, we should have been told.
No, that is an absolute. That is an absolute. We were told
That those
that
issues
there
were all
was going to
resolved.
be a
Repeaters in the
significant
building.
investment.
Yeah.
And that I don't think we should.
I don't know if we should be discussing this now, because I know in the past we've been told to go into closed about this because it could involve safety issues and protocols that we need to discuss in closed. So I appreciate that.
And if we move to the county, who's that gonna?
I think we need, based on when I was on the council
Yeah.
last time and we had this discussion, we spent all this money, I know Mr. Pollard asked us to go into closed when we discussed this. So
If you want to go in the closed, that's
we
something.
can't do it now, we'll have to do it at the next meeting, but
Yes, if that's what the council wishes, we didn't necessarily share that concern, but.
I'm just basing it on when.
That's fine.
And I don't want to get us into,
I want to answer Mr. Sears' question that this is exclusive of potential outsourcing to the dispatch center as well. This has to do with our radios, that if we went to the county dispatch, we would still maintain these radios. So these is an upgrade to the radios.
Okay. But I know
For now.
I'm a little upset right
I
now.
don't understand what that means for now.
Well, I'm upset now because what Mr. Kenny just said really is upsetting, because I was told, at least everybody, the people that were on this dais when we approved the $750,000 for the whole new radio system, we were told all that was resolved and there was going to be repeaters in those buildings. Go ahead, Chief McCarr.
Yeah, I was part of that project.
Yeah.
90% of it was resolved. So we have a much more robust system. It works in 90% of our buildings. There is one particular building that even then, we explained that it's not going to fix everything. So this solution that he's recommending
That's the
would help that.
$21,000 solution or the $7?
Yes, so during that project, we had 5 radios installed with this Wi-Fi option, and he's looking to get it on all the radios. That's
That
what
would be
this
the
is about.
$21,000 upgrade.
Correct. And that would fix our one issue that we have.
That would take care of the 10%, you're saying?
Yes.
Are we certain? Because I'm upset that I didn't know about the 10% because we spent all that money.
That was always an issue. There was no hiding that.
But I thought we were going to put
It was always
repeaters.
an
Well,
issue.
that
But we
was
were-
resolved the issue.
But we were
I
told,
was here. I
So was
discussed
I.
it, so, I mean,
So was I.
because we were told.
I remember
repeaters
those
went in.
presentations.
Yeah,
there
and
were no repeaters.
We were supposed to have repeaters.
No, we did not. No, not with this system. We would have been well over $1 million. We kept it at under 800, so.
Yeah, but our focus when we approved that money was to protect our blue and our fire department,
Yes.
our DPW and everybody, because we knew we had this deficiency in some of these buildings that was critical,
Yes.
and we wanted to resolve it. Like, I would have given you the $1 million to fix it, because I was sitting up here and previously, I would have swore to you right now that there was no issues, because that was done on the last copy.
We could go to we could find the.
I'm not worried, I just want to get it, this
The
is like
minutes,
sad.
because
Yeah.
this,
This was discussed during that process, that we were only doing 5 of these radios with this Wi-Fi option, okay? And that we were going to test it out to see if that would resolve any other issues that we had in the different buildings that are older, and that's where we have the issues. So we did
So
test it out.
those radios do work in those buildings? or
Yes,
no?
there's 5 radios, all the supervisors have. So we're looking to get them on the rest of the radios. So that was always the plan.
But for what we spent, for another $21,000, like, we should have done this 10 years ago when we did the original system.
Chief, can you just briefly explain why this would be exclusive from any potential communication outsourcing?
Yes, regardless of dispatch, our radio frequencies would still remain the same. Our radios would still function the
Same
same,
way.
whether you were at the county or you were here or you were with another dispatch center. So it's just improving what we already have and allowing them to work at 100%, because, we only have 5 of those radios out of 25.
I want Mr. DiPaolo to find $21,000 tomorrow and get this done ASAP, because this is like, shouldn't even be a
I
capital
know it's good,
expense.
but I don't know about that.
So I apologize if my explanation wasn't well enough before.
No, I understand.
The initial project was before my tenure.
Yeah, no, I understand. You are, I don't even think you're
Blame
so,
you, but,
we're not blaming you, it's just.
So I apologize if that explanation wasn't great enough.
But I
this
think
is gonna,
this is a big thing, and I'd like to find the money ASAP, because it's critical last time, and it's still
that was
critical.
supposed to be resolved. That was one
So,
of the
going over, unless you want
primary purposes.
me to.
Hold on one second, Mr. Well, you had one other thing, traffic signal upgrade for $7,000, Mr. Ken?
Explaining this part was answering the original question about the operational. The operational is, it's great that we'll have the ability to connect to Wi-Fi if there's actually Wi-Fi there. The operational line that wanted to note was a portable rugged case that has a cellular Wi-Fi hotspot. So in the event of an operation where there is no power, where there's some sort of issue going on inside that building, or the same project to continue for fire and EMS in 27 to be able to break up the cost, any fire department operations, when they go in, they disconnect the power to the building. You need to have power in order to have Wi-Fi. So that portable cellular Wi-Fi hotspot is going to also then bring us that capability and be able to expand
So
that.
who would control that? The fire department would have that with them, or would that?
Ultimately, the goal would be to have 2. Would be
One for PD,
to
one for.
have one in a police supervisor's vehicle and then have one in a fire department supervisor's
Is
vehicle
there a yearly charge for that?
for a cell signal. So you would see the yearly charge for that
Just like a regular
cellular,
phone?
for that cellular device, similar to a phone, similar to the air cards that the police department has, similar to the iPads that the fire department has in their apparatus.
How much is the device?
The device itself is $2,600.
And that's included in the 21,000, or that's not?
That
included?
is outside and that
No,
was.
this
that was moved to
service is in the
operation.
budget, the OEM.
Oh, it's in the budget
Right,
sheets,
so
okay,
we're not-
I'm sorry,
we're not
I'm just
asking for-
going by.
No, it's
I'm just
okay.
going by this, I'm sorry.
We're
I'm
not
just going
asking
by
for
your
an increase, but we want to justify
sheet.
their
I understand
request.
why.
So,
So you have both of them in your budget for OEM, for fire department and police?
Correct.
no, you're only asking for
I'm
one.
only asking for one right now. And then next year it would be a similar ask.
Is this sort of a commercial or a hardened unit, or is
It
it?
is a commercial hardened unit and the brand name is Pelican. in a Pelican
Oh,
case.
it's in- okay.
That is a very robust case to where if the work as the police department opens up the trunk of a car and this falls out, it's not going to be damaged and defunct.
And just one other question is, hopefully we wouldn't be out for long, but does it include extra batteries, extra, worst case scenario?
It would include an extra battery, absolutely.
Can we charge it from the car?
And it is USB chargeable for the vehicle.
I was under the impression. Okay.
So on page 32, last year, we were approved for 4,500. We're requesting 4,500 this year, and he feels certain he can purchase the device and pay for the yearly Wi-Fi out of this without asking the council for an increase in that line.
So if we wanted to buy 2 this year, would it be a $9,000 ask?
If we wanted to buy 2, it would be a $5,000 to $6,000 ask. That is out of the total operated.
What's that?
OEM
I think we'd ask you for another 2,500.
It would be for another.
Yeah, so you'd then be increasing from.
So 6K, you'd be okay.
That's 1,500, 7K.
All right, let's talk about that because I think the fire department should have it also because it's important to have.
It would be crucial once they go through their update with their radio capabilities, because that's where they would be using it.
Then the other thing I have is traffic signal upgrade.
Yes, the traffic signal at Ridgewood and Pascack, when the county took over the intersection years ago and upgraded the infrastructure there was an option to be able to add supplemental power in the event of a power outage there. When the county took over the infrastructure at Washington and Pascack, this ability was added. I don't know if the base options changed over the decade plus from the upgrade at Ridgewood and Pascack to the upgrade down here. But currently at Washington and Pascack, in the event of a power outage, we have the ability to supplement power to that intersection to allow that traffic signal to function as normal in the event of a storm. Right now, if Ridgewood and Pascack goes out, it's out and it's going to have to get supplemented with public safety manpower. To
fold the stop signs down.
To fold the stop signs down and then be able to have somebody monitor and or direct or set up a cone pattern.
Can we ask the county to do it for us?
So the county supplied the basic options for everything. And this is where I wasn't able to get a decent explanation from the engineer at the county. Because we have the option at Ridgewood and Pascack, I don't know if that was something that the township opted for, or if that is something that is now offered as part of their basic package. Kind of like years ago when you had the offer to get FM radio and not just AM, and now you get satellite and everything else. I don't know if their basic offerings updated or if this is in addition for what we went off of.
So would we use the county contractor?
We would use the county contractor
And
and
that's
make sure the
what we got from
programming and everything would be there. So the reason why the cost of this would have to be on the burden of the township is because it was not a basic option, and it was not an option that was initially went with during the redesign when they redid the infrastructure there.
Yeah.
Now, going over everything, double checking all my numbers before, I noticed the clerical end on my part. The total for that traffic signal is 9,367. Originally what I submitted, I must have looked at a older budget sheet or something else, but double checking everything in preparation for this meeting, that line item request right now is 7,000.
So the traffic signal update is 10,000.
Yes, due to the clerical end of my
Does
end of
OEM
that
have the
process.
generators for both intersections?
We have 3 light tower generators that are going to be able to supplement power there. There's also smaller handheld generators that we got through the 1033 LISO program that are going to be able to. My preference would be for the for the light tower generators. The other thing too, when there's a state of emergency and we are able to get money back once we hit all of our markers, those light tower generators are going to get us refunds when we have to go back and submit.
Okay.
When they're
So right now, if we had a power failure at Washington and Pascack, you could bring a light tower out and power it.
I can bring something over there.
Have we had to do that yet or not yet?
Not yet. I've had it there ready and waiting in the event that we had to, which would be the ultimate goal in the event of
Yeah, at both, you'd have one.
knowing that a named storm is coming or something along those lines to be prepared, but I haven't had to supplement power at the intersection yet.
Thank you. Anything else, Mr. Kenny?
Council President, most importantly, we would avoid the wing nut failure on the
So I don't have to call you and tell you to go put the stop sign up?
Yeah.
My pet peeve.
Yes. I believe that concludes the OEM, and we'll move on to the fire department.
Thank you, Mr. Kenny.
Thank you.
Fire Chief, if we can just start with the capital requests. You have that in front of you. So I just want to set you up here. The fire chief did initially request a QuantiFit testing machine and service plan for this year, but we removed it after it was submitted to the council, and that's why we gave you an updated capital plan. He moved the request to 2027. The new computers, chief, for 25 and 27. The new emergency siren system with the voice over alert. Just to inform the council, we still do have a grant application out there from Mr. Buno for a device. Let's see, where is it? Fiscal year 2025 assistance to firefighters grants in the amount of $182,320 to purchase a mass notification system. So just to let you know, as he's speaking with that, and then obviously the emergency vehicle warning system for $20,000.
Can you tell us what that is, if I know?
Yes, just an important part before that. We're not going to bond that money. I can fund that $20,000 with capital fund balance. And Chief, it's all you.
Thank you for having me. So the QuantiFit, I discussed with the director, and we feel that we want to try for grants this year. We reached out to our grant writer, what grants are available. We're going to go for grants, and hopefully we can get a grant for it. If not, next year. New computers, our current computers that we have, are 20 years old. We're, operating with them as best we can and keep updating them as best we can and using our 501c3 to get free software and things we can do with what we got. That's why you'll see the computers for next year.
Can you explain where the computers are deployed?
Yes, so there is computers we have one on the credit desk, and that's the computer that's used to sign in. It also runs our dispatching software right there where the guys come in, you can see on the screen where the call is, where the nearest hydrants are, who's responding. There's a computer in the chief's office, there's one in the deputy chief's office, and one in the captain and lieutenant's office. And there's also 2 computers in the dispatch room, which is the town's backup dispatch center.
So unlike the police department where it's a part of their mobile, the laptops are part of their mobile sort of unit, they're not on the trucks.
No, on the trucks themselves, we have iPads.
Okay, thank you.
As Mr. DeCarlo said, the siren system, we did submit for a grant, AFG 2025, $182,000. Still waiting to hear back.
So that's to replace the horns?
To replace the entire system to something that is more up to date.
Get rid of the beepers.
Less maintenance. It also comes with a voiceover alert where then the police department would be able to announce, issues like, bears in the area or, curfew. There's an actual voiceover where it could be pre-recorded and they push a button and like, okay, curfew, and it will be announced to the entire town that there's curfew going on. It does come with some other features that I don't have.
So we would replace the 3 horns, the one on?
Yes, it would end up replacing the 3 locations. Well, they would be replaced with newer styles.
But I'm saying, but at the same location?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, no, we would not be moving them. And then last but not least, engine 43 replacement. As you can see, I pushed that off from, this coming year to 2028, which, and my feelings, honestly, that truck is still running good with the money that I keep putting into it every year.
How old is it?
It's 2005, so we're 21 years old.
Okay.
I truly feel we can get another 5 to 7 years out of this truck. I don't think that, we need to put $1 million burden on the town right now.
And when we order it, how long do we need to get it?
So it is a estimate of 18 months to.
Okay, so it's come down a lot from the last time we had to buy truck.
Yeah, absolutely. That was when we were like 4 years.
Correct.
It definitely because of COVID. We've gotten better. It's still not great. 18 months is still not a short period of time.
But it's better than it was.
It's better than it was. So honestly, I think that, 2028 is even pushing a little soon. I think 2028 is going to be more of a asking to start a committee and then, to potentially put the money up in 2029 for a delivery in 2030, 2031.
Okay.
So just to add a little bit to that is starting this year, with Mr. Buno, we are going to start requesting through Congressman Gottheimer's office the funding for that fire truck. When we met with him the other day, we were joking but half serious and said, when can we ask for a fire truck? So we know it's a several-year process, so we're going to start asking for the funds for a fire truck. There was recent, one of our neighboring towns, I don't remember who it was it Hohokus? Somebody got a fire truck from the Gottheimer, so we are going to try and have it funded through a grant as well.
Chief, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Rock, paper, scissors. The fourth siren that is no longer there on Kennedy, do you want one up there? Do you feel the need for one on that side of the highway, or?
I'm going to tell you my personal feeling. Yes, I would love to have that siren back. Unfortunately, where that pole was located, the area overgrew with wooded area, and we just couldn't get back there to maintain it.
Okay.
We also had some issues with vandalism, where they were cutting the power to it and things of that sort.
Is there a better location up there? Because really, that side of town would need some type of system. It would be nice to have a system.
So Kennedy and Clark would be nice.
Beneficial, but like anything else, you would need a variance, and like you're right there, you're grandfathered, so we can just replace that system there at that location, no questions asked.
What about our Fillmore?
But
Building's a mile high, they put it around the roof.
Sounds like a
Where?
kid.
Fillmore.
Fillmore, yeah, put it right on the roof.
Oh, yeah. Chief, I do have a question, if I may. Chief, you talked about, I'm sorry, you.
No, I just, so you would desire one on that side of town?
I would love for one on that side.
Is there a way to do it so it could be vandal proof, or really? we tried all that?
Unfortunately, no. I mean, unless you guys want to approve some cameras for the police department so they can view the whole town, I'm sure they would love it.
Well, we have cameras in all our fields. We could put a camera there, right? Put a Wi-Fi camera there. And
You
then
know by the bridge?
Yeah, and also it would be maintaining. At the time when we went to take it down, we had to call
Couldn't get back there.
DPW with their bucket truck, because we couldn't even get our ladder truck in there where there was too much foliage with the branches and things, so it was difficult to get it down. And the pole's just sitting vacant right now. We took all the system off of it, which luckily we did, because we actually ended up having an issue with one of our other boxes, so we were able to reutilize that one so we could keep the system going.
And there's still power there, right?
I believe PSE&G cut the power off to that pole, so it'd be running.
It's at
we
the
need a
end.
new pole anyway, probably. So.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Right?
No problem.
Chief, question, you were looking for money and grants. Do you share with the JIF safety awards? I know they give $9,000 or $8,000.
It's not that much, so
Do you get any of that money, considering it's
Unfortunately,
three
no. departments that? Speaking to Vic Fedini, our insurance agent, he said that we got the Platinum Award again this past year, and it's a $2,500, gift to the town, and that the town decides where the money goes. I don't have any.
So you have three safety departments that don't share that award? It should be divided among all three.
As far as I know, I can't speak for the other departments. I can only speak for my department. I know that we don't, reap any funds from the JIF award.
Because that'll help
So the
offset some
safety
of the stuff.
incentive award is $1,750, and it's all the same budget, Mr. Sear. So whether we give it all to the fire department and then have to budget for the police department, or give it to the police department and have to budget for the fire department, it's just a shell.
Well, I mean, all three departments work on the safety issue. It's not fair just to give it to one. If they're all putting an effort in to meet the safety
The police
standards.
department's not receiving a benefit, the town is. I mean, it's all one budget.
That means no statement. That if he needed money for something, he would get a portion of that money to help offset something, right?
No, it's not.
No.
Okay. You're right, Mr. Sear.
Of course I am.
No, I know.
All right, let's continue, Mr. Hale.
And the last thing on our capital is, that was discussed last year with Mr. Sears about the emergency lighting for the ESB building. Doing a key fob system that would, when the trucks are either leaving or coming back to the firehouse, they'd be able to activate it, and it would be a red and blue light flashing with a sign that's lit up that says emergency, emergency apparatus, exiting. It's more of a pre-warning system.
Inside the building?
Outside the building. So
Outside the road.
there'd be one just west of the ESB.
Oh, this is what we
building.
should have got with the signal we're talking about.
Yes,
Ah.
yes. I unfortunately have one copy here, but this is what it would look like,
I put them up in Waldwick years ago and
So they discussed this. They look a lot like the crosswalk signs. They, like I said, they are remote activated.
I've been asking for them for a long time, Peter.
So when we built the ESB building, we originally talked about getting lighting like Hillsdale had with the traffic lights. Unfortunately, with the county wanted too much with something to do with the intersection and such, and so basically it just didn't happen. So then we had
What are those,
researched.
36,000?
We had researched this. I believe it's 20,000 in the ask is for the system. It's something that but
10,000 each, they've come down that much?
Oh no, so it's 20,000 per total of two.
Oh.
It's, the two signs.
They used to be like 18,000 each when I bought them a long
Oh
time.
yeah, no, it definitely come down.
Good.
It's
Something came down.
We would have to get enough fobs for each vehicle, and the ambulance corps as well, because they would also be utilizing it. Again, this is not a traffic control device, so this is not. It's not like,
It's no
hey, the
warning
guy
sign.
didn't stop.
Yeah.
I want the cop to write him a ticket, and that doesn't happen. It's more just a warning device that trucks or vehicles are exiting or entering into that building.
That's worth $20,000.
It is.
Absolutely. We've been asking for this since we built the intersection.
You got
or
that.
before we built the intersection.
You got it.
Question.
Thank you.
Now, I've seen them in other towns that go across the street versus on either side of the street, right? There's a bar. Is that something that is better, or
It's
what's the
something that we
difference?
originally wanted.
That goes across the street instead of having them on either side?
More cost. So the system that we're doing is it's battery powered. From the company said that the battery, depending on usage, anywhere between 2 to 4 years.
You'll get
The
more.
battery itself is a lawnmower battery. It's that big. So it's about $60 for this battery. And it's also, we're getting the solar option to keep the battery trickle charged so that it constantly stays charged and will extend the life of the battery. The signs, like you're saying, that come over the roadways like Hillsdale has on Hillsdale Ave,
Okay.
that requires electricity being ran to each of those lights. That
We need
requires
county approval.
Well,
county approval. It also requires an activation point. So that means that we would have to figure out a way that the police department would have to be able to activate it. So that when I say hey, I'm back at headquarters, then they could hit the button to be able to activate it. This way, with the way we want to go to keep up, the guy that's in the truck, the officer, clicks the button, the lights go on.
my only concern is when you're on the road and, you're behind traffic, depending on the height, you can't see it. So when it's above, even if you're in the back of the line, you'll have that notice well ahead.
Understood.
It's 10 feet high, I believe.
You can actually, the pole that you
truck.
buy, you can get it as high as you would like. I think, I want to say you're right, it's about 10 feet high, is at the sign and the original flashing light.
I mean,
So, I
like the
think
regular
anything's better
truck
than nothing.
is. Yes, it is. And the other one is a bigger project based on your explanation, so I
Yes.
understand that. Just the one across the road just would, let people all the way in the back of the traffic line aware.
And
Well, this
I
is
understand what you're
flashing,
saying.
so it's
Okay.
pretty bright.
I understand what you're saying is that, if you're that guy that's all the way in the back, why are all these cars stopped? Like, what, why am I sitting here? There's nothing going on ahead of me.
Well, they'll see the flashing lights from the fire trucks
Yeah,
also
eventually,
as they're
yeah.
backing in.
Okay, I understand.
So that request is on here, you said.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Can I just ask one question going back? I know it has been moved out a year, the Quantifit.
Yes.
What does that do? Because I thought the fire department received a grant and purchased a fit machine for their masks or testing.
No, so when you visited the ESB building with Mr. DiCarlo, you saw the unit that we were borrowing from our Patrick Valley Mutual Aid group. The Quantifit is a fit testing machine that every year our firefighters have to fit test with their SCBA mask to tell us that they can wear a mask, into a burning building if needed, or CO alarm, whatever it may
Sure.
be. Every year we have to fit test. We borrow part of our mutual aid group. We have one. We all share it. We all get it for a month at a time, and then it goes on to the other department.
Yeah.
The biggest issue with that we run into is that I have members that are college kids. I have members that, that they go away or they take a leave, and when they come back, now I'm chasing down this machine of where it is. I've run into an issue a couple of times that Patrick Valley sends their machine out in the summertime to go get calibrated. Now I got a kid that came back from college that's like, I want to ride the truck. I'm like, not till you get fit tested. And then we're actually paying to get them fit tested because we can't use the machine that we use in our group because it's out for service. So it's more about being self-sufficient and not having to rely on someone else with this machine. The cost of the machine itself is roughly about $11,000. Originally the request was for, I believe, $18,000. I put the request in. That included a 5-year service plan. That included picked up, delivery. It included, any miscellaneous parts it may need. It would have been all covered for 5 years.
And calibration as well?
Calibration as well for 5 years. So that's why I asked for that a little bit more, because when I asked how much it was to send it out, they told me, so it's $800 for the calibration. It's another $300 in shipping costs because you have to insure the unit, and then plus parts and labor. So they said usually it's about $1,500 a year. I'm like, so I'm saving money right off the bat for 5 years by doing the service plan. So that's why originally I asked for that. Will the price of the unit go up by next year? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. But I'm willing to take that chance,
If we get the grant.
If I can get a grant for it, even if the grant only covers 80%, it's still saving the town money.
Absolutely.
So that is my goal here is to not, spend what I don't need.
Thank you.
Well,
Mike, can I ask the chief a question?
Sure.
Chief, going back to the signage, the warning system, the ambulance would be able to utilize that also, correct?
100%.
Yeah,
He said
just
they-
want to put that.
He did say they were going to buy clickers for the ambulance.
I'm sorry if I missed that.
And we could, if the council wanted, we could buy clickers for the county ambulance as well.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Yeah, we'd have to have a spare
Put
for
one
everybody.
into their vehicle so that they, when they're exiting or anything.
I apologize, I missed when you said that.
No, you did say that. Anything else for Mr. Ayala?
If you're concluded with the capital, I just want to bring the council's attention to budget lines. If we can just speak about them while you're here. If council could please go in their budget binder to page 34.
What was it?
34.
Down towards the bottom, you'll see Fire Department Dispatch Services, line 60125265365. We requested 3,000. Unfortunately, a price increase came in after the budget was turned over to the council. We're requesting to respectfully increase it to 4,275. And I'd like it to, give it over to the fire chief to explain what happened there.
So as Mr. DeCarlo said, unfortunately, I just got the invoice back in end of January.
What does this include, Mr. Ayala?
So this includes our I Am Responding software, which we signed a 5-year agreement 2 years ago. So that one's locked in at $660 a year. This also includes codes. That's our reporting software. It's also, there's a one-time fee of $500 included in there. So we will go down by $500 next year for the Neverest reporting software, which is our software that we use to give our reports to the federal government. This system also codes is also how we enter all our reports into everything. We're trying to go green, get rid of paper, and we've had this code system now for about 3 years. And we're almost honestly 100%. There's been a lot of tweaking to make it work for the fire department, and they've been very.
But it works.
They've been very good to us, yes, and it's going to cut our time down, and it's also going to save us on other things. With the iPads, you actually have an app. In the app, our truck checks will all be on the iPads through this system.
And it'll track it always.
It's going to track it. It tells me when my gear is expiring. It tells me when somebody's certification is expiring.
Oh, that's great.
It's all through this app code.
Anything to make your life easier, because you guys do enough for our town as volunteers, and if that's going to make your
I
life.
appreciate that. Yeah,
my predecessor at my firehouse back home is the CEO and founder of the program and everything with it. And I use it to the fullest extent by me, and I've been working with them on their familiarization with it, and it has.
Anything to make your lives
Made my
easier
life so
and,
much
and track and make your lives easier and safer for your equipment and everything is a great asset, so.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Just to clarify, the line says dispatch services. It has nothing to do with dispatch, does it?
It does. It does. So when we are dispatched via our pagers, there is a CAD report that goes out. That CAD report goes to the code system. So that's what creates the call in the actual code system. So when we go to sign in at night for the call, it's on a computer screen and it's already got all the information inputted into it by ours.
So everybody that responded that they're coming to the call is already up on the screen, you're saying?
Up on the screen.
And does that track to LoSAP too? Like, so it knows who's on the call and not on the call?
So that's code software is also doing our credit system and our LoSAP tracking.
Okay.
And I don't know, Mr. DiCarlo, if you were gonna ask about it, but the building maintenance?
Yeah, I have a whole thing for you. If everyone was done with the dispatch, I'd bring everybody's attention, please, to page 35.
So the new recommend and request is 4275 on page
Yes, sir.
34.
Yes.
Yes, so
Thank you.
Okay, so building maintenance, there's a note there for a one-time
I'm sorry,
electric,
page 45?
35.
45, sorry.
ESB building maintenance.
Yep, 2 down. One-time electrical expense of $10,200, which the chief will explain before he does that. On top of the $31,000, I explained in my email that I request to increase $2,000 for HVAC repairs, and the chief will explain that. And then an additional $2,900 to alter one of the doors controlled by JCT, the fob system. So if approved for everything, I would respectfully request to increase $31,000 by $4,900.
So 35,900?
No, 36,000.
36. Oh, you want?
No, you're right. I thought that said 100. I gotta get better glasses now. So 31,000 plus 4,900. So it would be 35,900.
That is the new request and.
That's the new request,
recommend?
and we'd like to just run you through it. The chief, if you wanna start with the one-time electrical expense of the 10,200, which
Yes.
the council does have the quotes for, but if you can explain.
Okay, so you have the quotes in front of you. So I reached out to Advanced Electric to have them come and give me an estimate last year. So unfortunately, I think it was an oversight when the building was built that we didn't put any exterior outlets on the front of the building. This persists to be a problem for us because when we have the trucks outside for whatever it may be, whether it's repairing a building or if it's during our inspection week, we have no way, we have to run extension cords from inside the building outside. Also, any of our holiday decorations, the ambulance corps is running an extension cord out one of their windows to get to the Christmas tree that's in front of our building, in which case poses a security risk because, at any given time, someone could pop that window open. I have no problem talking about this now. We have a year to fix that. So I requested that they give us a quote for some outdoor outlets. I believe it was 4. Two by the bays, one by our front of our radio room, and one by the front of the ambulance corps radio room. The other quote is for rear exterior lighting, one LED light fixture to match what is on the building. When you go around the back of the building, that's how our guys are going to the gear room at nighttime. As soon as you turn the corner around the generator, it is pitch black. You can see the light for the gear room that's above the gear room door, but there is a 40-foot section of just blackness. So we're just looking to put one light there just so that
Wall pack? It would just be a wall pack?
It would be wall mounted facing down. Something that would not be projecting out so that it's not bothering any of the neighbors that are back there, so that it would just be facing down. And the last but not least, which is big to me, is you'll see one for 3 oscillating wall mounted fans in the bays, which I know Mr. Ullman has seen, the bay floors, so you have 18-foot high ceilings. It's very high. It's meant for the trucks. The heating units in there that work very well, don't get me wrong, they work well, but the problem is that the heat rises to 18-foot high and there's no way to get it back down. I spoke to a couple HVAC guys, I spoke to the electrician, and like, how can I work this so that I really originally wanted to put some ceiling fans in, but unfortunately with the heating system, the ventilation system, the lighting, everything gets up there's no space. So we came up with a plan to put 3 oscillating fans mounted through all the back walls of the firehouse. There will be an on-off switch to each fan as well as a speed control. And they all feel that this will lower our heat costs in the building because we'll be able to put them on a low setting in the winter time to blow the heat down from the higher point and keep it down below at the floor where the thermostats are. Also in the summertime, as Councilman Sears can tell you, it gets very stagnant in the bays because there is no air movement whatsoever. So it gets very hot, very humid in there, which I'm not asking to put air conditioning in there. I'm just asking to put some fans in there so I can just move some air.
Are we doing anything for the ambulance side?
And make it bearable.
Are we doing the same thing on the ambulance side? Or
I did not approach the ambulance corps.
Because their ceiling is just as high, is it, or not? Not really.
I believe it
It's
is.
not as high as the fire department.
But I mean, if we're doing it, I'd rather do it once and not have them then come back and say, hey, we should get fans too.
Basically, they would need one.
Basically, I would say, if anything, they would need the one in the center bay.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the way that our building is built, it juts out for where 41 and 44 go because they're longer trucks. That's where I have the 3 because I have one in the corner by the stairwell that goes up to the offices, then one on the next corner right by the edge of 41, and one in the back corner by where the boat is. I feel that it could be a benefit to the town, which energy saving costs, and it would be a benefit to the department.
And this is all in the 10,200?
This is all, it's all built in that 10,200.
So we gotta get one more fan for the ambulance corps then.
Which is about $2,000 based on the quote, if you wanted to add it.
And I mean, based on a quote that, again, this quote is from October 13/25, just so you're aware. So hopefully the price has not changed much, but I mean, Advance is one of the town's vendors.
Thank you.
The bays aren't conditioned in the summer?
No. We have one exhaust fan that's behind 41 that if it was to get to 120 degrees in there, it will come on to vent out the hot air, but that's it. There's no air movement whatsoever. We've actually went as far as taking some of our positive pressure fans, putting them on our catwalk, just blowing air into the bays just to move air. It's been difficult. It was an oversight when the building was built. It just wasn't thought of, and you know what? Now we're just trying to correct it.
Did you want to add the 2,000 for the vote?
Well, let's find out if that's the cost and well, let's make sure they need it. Let's ask them if
Okay, yeah.
All right.
I believe that can include, I mean, your budget's pretty straightforward. You remain consistent with all last year's asks.
Except for the 2 other items that we've increased, if you want me to explain.
Does the council have any other questions with the fire budget? One was the chief's dinner. Every other year, they ask to fully fund it.
Yep.
And then what was the other one?
The other one was Scott Pack compliance.
That wasn't much though, was it?
No, that was it. That was an increase of $550.80. We have 18 Scott bottles that are due for hydro this year.
Okay.
There will be an increase again next year because we have 27 bottles coming up next year. But then after that, it'll come down to like $900.
And just remember, we did this so.
We staggered them so we didn't have the big, like last time we had to buy every single Scott pack because it was.
Exactly.
So it's planned, it's actually planned out very well by the chief.
I'm glad that
To be replaced.
Yeah, we did ask for that because that was important. I don't want to buy, 40 Scott packs or 50 Scott packs we had to buy last time.
Yeah, close to 40.
Yeah.
So is that now going to be part of the ongoing current budget, or are purchases going to be required in the capital
Further to replace the Scott packs from that time.
for the Scott packs when they
Well,
come?
we probably have, let's see, we started then. We probably have a good 6 to, at least, I'd say a minimum 6 years until you're even thinking about replacing them.
Okay.
And then in which case, because we staggered them, we'll only have to purchase the first balance will be like 6. and then the next bunch will be 5, and then the next bunch will be.
As long as we don't have to purchase 40 again.
The way we did it last time was like,
yeah.
I want to say it was like 5, 5, 5, and then 10. I think it's 25 total. It might be 26, but yeah.
As long as we keep doing
I think
that,
that's what
great.
we did. So yes, I mean, right now, what does a Scott pack go for? I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. I'd say somewhere in the range of 9,000 per. They're not cheap, but as long as we stay in compliance with NFPA, then we're good. It takes certain changes in NFPA that would require us, if we can't upfit the pack, where we'd have to replace it.
Yeah, because last time our packs were so old, we couldn't upfit them, and we had to get rid of them.
Exactly.
All right, so summarizing, Chief, if you can just get us an up-to-date quote on the electrical.
Absolutely. That's no problem at all.
Thank you. And then,
With one for the ambulance corps.
If we, let's just confirm with that, if Mr. DeCarlo, you can.
yes, I'll speak to the ambulance corps, and then if we can just confirm that those prices are good, that would be great.
Anything else for the chief?
Oh, and did you want to discuss the JCT or?
Yeah, yes, I'm sorry. I'm trying to go through.
Yeah, no, I got you. I have it in front of me. So JCT, the door that leads from the bay floors to the lobby has a key fob on one side and had a push button on the other side. The push button that we have there has been replaced 3 times already. It's broken again currently. So right now that door is unlocked where anyone that's in the building can get into the fire side. We're not happy about it, but it is what it is. Sitting down with JCT, trying to figure out a better solution than this button, because this button obviously just from multiple presses. The first button is you had to tap it. Second button, you had to hold it. It got stuck and then it broke, whatever the case may be. We want to put a door sensor in. Basically, it would be a bar about 6 inches long above the door. As soon as you walk in front of the door, it would recognize you and then the door would unlock. That's what that 2880 is for from JCT Solutions. Hopefully this will also fix all of our constant issues with this door, and then the door can be secured, from the rest of the building.
Okay.
Thank you. Do you mind just doing the HVAC?
The HVAC, so Phoenix, unfortunately we had a gas leak in the firehouse. We actually had 2 gas leaks in the firehouse. So the HVAC units that are above the bay floors, one of them had an issue where the pipe actually separated where the flame is actually shooting through, and it was putting gas and carbon monoxide into the building. This was only noticed by a member, in which case then that Monday night, we shut the gas off to the unit. We contacted the administrator. We got the company to come out, repair it.
Stupid question. We don't have a carbon monoxide detector in there?
Not an 18-foot high ceiling, no.
Shouldn't we have one?
It's funny. We should. And honestly, I'd say there probably is one. I think it was just caught by a member so fast that it did not
set it off.
activate it.
Okay. And you got a lot of fresh air probably coming through the door.
Well, as soon as we started smelling the gas, all the bay doors went open. So that now you're venting everything out. So they came, they repaired it, and then another unit on the other side of the building, all of a sudden we were smelling gas. Found out that one of the couplers went bad. So they had to come back, they had to replace it. Since they have fixed all the issues, we've had no issues with the units since they came. I do not feel that this was at fault of the company that installed it. I think it's just wear and tear and usage. Since they were installed, they've never been looked at. I'm sure that they probably are something that need to be looked at maybe once a year, but I think our current company, Whalen and Ives, it does not service them, and that's why they were not looked at every year. Because I believe that's correct, right? Whalen and Ives said that that's not something they worked on.
They weren't, when we called them to see if they were capable of fixing it, they were not. So then we thought, let's get a hold of the company and actually install them and one, check to see if it's under any type of warranty. So that's when we called in Phoenix. Phoenix, it was not under warranty anymore.
Of course.
But Phoenix was able to fix it for us. And believe it or not, the height had a big, we called I think 3 companies before it dawned on me, why don't we just call Phoenix that installed it? And people didn't want to get involved with it because it was 1, gas, and 2, because of the height.
So high up in the air.
Yeah.
Don't we have a service contract with Whalen and Ives?
We do,
We pay
but
a bill?
it's not for the gas, the natural gas, pipes. Yeah. It's for the furnaces and all the filters and things like that. They come twice a year but they don't climb up towards the ceiling, to check the fixtures.
And thank God Westwood DPW came over with their pickup truck, with their bucket truck. We were able to pull the bucket truck into the bay
And get up there.
where we can get to shut the gas off. And then the fire department dropped off a 25-foot ladder for us to use also.
18 foot, 18-foot ladder, which, we have now purchased one and waiting for its delivery.
A fire department doesn't have a ladder?
An A-frame ladder, not a straight ladder. Something that, where you can climb up it and not run against a wall, especially with a concrete floor.
We'll give you that one.
We should.
So is there a lesson somewhere from, how long has that building been in production? 4 years?
I think we got the conditional in 23, and then what do they call that?
So
The CO, the substantially complete CO. So I think when did you guys inhabit that?
I honestly don't remember. I want to say it was 2023 that we had to call and we said, all right, get out of your building, because we're knocking it down next week. So I believe it was 2023.
Yeah.
So-
I think we're at approaching the 3 year mark.
So in 3 years, we had 2 issues.
Yes.
So we're putting in a new building
Mhm.
for the DPW. I mean, does something like this make its way to the discussion with the DPW?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, it will. We learned that we had all our list of learned lessons, obviously, something we will discuss when it gets that far, but I don't know if it's the same system with, the natural gas.
Is Mr.
along
Corcoran on
ceiling,
for the budget? Because we're not going to do anything but the police chief, so he can get off if he wants.
But yes, we will make sure it's all discussed.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And,
Thank you.
You have to
Thank you.
unmute yourself.
Was there anything
Is
else
Mr.
there?
Corcoran on for the budget? Because we're not going to get to the budget, so.
Yeah, to actually approving lines, you mean?
Yeah, we're not approving
Yeah.
lines, because it's
You know-
9:15, and I'm sorry, Mr. Corcoran, I didn't realize you were still on, so you can, if it's okay with the mayor, we don't need you tonight, we'll need you at the next meeting.
Okay, all right, thank you. Good night, everyone.
Tell Mr. DeCarlo not to
Thanks,
come up
Scott.
with any new things, and you'll be on right away.
Okay, no problem. Take care.
If you don't mind, we'll switch over to the police, and Chief, if we can start with.
Chief Ayala, if you want to go, we don't need you for the police. We do?
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
yeah, I have a plan here. Don't punch me in the face, everybody's got a plan. With the chief's capital request, the one request is the Phase 2 off-site backup for dispatch, and it does involve the OEM and the fire department. So Chief, if we can just talk about that. It is something that we understand the council may feel might not be necessary if the dispatch outsourcing was initiated, but we do feel it is. So we'd like you just to kind of hear us out here. It's something that we desire, even if it does go to the outsourcing for the dispatch. And Chief, I'll turn it over to you. And if OEM and fire department has any supporting facts, I respectfully ask you to help out there.
So we're starting off with the,
Yeah, you'll go to the PD tab in the
Yeah.
small binder and page 2 of the police capital request number 4.
good evening, Chief.
Hello. Thank you for having me. Number 4 there, what we're still looking to do is obviously finish the backup office at the ESB building. That would still be needed regardless of any outcome with dispatch. We already have a radio system that's in there. This is for the computer system that would be required in there in case of a catastrophic incident in our PD headquarters where we had to move there for a temporary basis. Also a remote phone system that we're trying to get our handle on how much that would cost to remote in our system, kind of like what the county does. We couldn't rely on them for an extended period of time. So these are, it's like a go box that you basically purchase and, where you utilize the Wi-Fi, similar in that nature. We have had conversations with FirstNet, who offers some really robust systems. So
Is FirstNet Verizon or is that?
that's AT&T.
Doesn't Verizon do this for us free under their plan?
No, but AT&T FirstNet does have a like a proprietary system just for first responders. So it's something we're looking at that could save the town some money as well versus Verizon. That's a conversation for a later time. But this system is basically finishing that room. You know, as the fire chief said, you know, his computers are old. We don't even have one there. So if we had to do anything there, we don't have a computer right now in that building, and we have no phone system. All we have is basically like a small backup radio system there with its own antenna. That's the only thing that we've done that was part of phase one. This would be phase two in order to at least still function as a police department with access to our CAD system and possibly, you know, writing a report or anything else that we might have to do until we got something set up temporarily. Just say we had a fire in the PD headquarters, you know, we would be out, who knows, indefinitely. So we would still need a space to be able to function out of.
Couldn't we ask some of our surrounding neighbors for help with that? Hopefully will never
I'm sure we
occur.
could, but
Hope that
you
doesn't
know,
occur. I don't want fire at the
you know,
municipal building.
honestly, I don't know how that would work. You know, we would have to
Hopefully
move a
something-
lot of stuff. Hopefully it never happens. And again, this is something that, you know, you're doing in hopes that you never have to use it. But unfortunately, it is something that we would need, and it would benefit also OEM because they could also work out of it. And same with the fire department. You know, it would give us that redundancy that we would need regardless of any other movements that might be made in the future.
Was
Council
this
President,
identified?
I'm sorry, Chief, if I may. That's a good thought, but there's possibility that surrounding departments may be experiencing the same catastrophe as us, such as large flooding, large storms, something like that. And then, I'm sorry, Mr. Wong.
Was this noted as a deficiency in the accreditation process?
Yes. Well, we need to have a backup, yes. We have a backup for our computer system. We need a backup for our communications as well as, you know, our day-to-day operation, so to speak.
Just so you guys are aware, so the worst case scenario has happened previous to the ESB building. The generator that's in the basement of the police department started pumping carbon dioxide into the building, so they had to evacuate the police station. So they came over to the firehouse, the old firehouse, and the county sent down this Tahoe that had 5,000 radios in it, and they said they can hook up and they can dispatch our cars, they can do everything. So we don't need to do it. We don't need to go to other channels. None of it worked. Not one single thing. They couldn't communicate with our cars. They couldn't dispatch our fire department. They couldn't dispatch they couldn't do any of it. And so our police department was sitting at a mobile, a little mobile radio at the fire department desk, calling their cars. I think the 911 calls were coming to Ridgewood. Like it was a cluster. We made it work, and so we were able to fix the issue with the generator. Mm-hmm. But now with this, by law that we have to have this backup center, which Clay can definitely fill in more than I can. It's beneficial to the town, especially your emergency services. Is being able to dispatch, because if we lose here, as we already found out, because we tested it when we covered Emerson, the county can't dispatch us. So they can't call the county and say, dispatch my fire. It didn't work. We tried it. So the only people that can dispatch us right now is our current police station and the antiquated equipment that we have at the firehouse.
Okay.
Part of documents that we have that I have to fill out have to show that we have some sort of backup as part of our emergency operations plan for the township as a whole. Right now, it does have that listed. With the little bit of capabilities that we have now, this would be able to wrap everything up, and it's difficult because we're trying to plan for a what-if scenario and maybe a worst-case scenario, and the gentleman that said on either side of me make their bread and butter on helping people in their what-if scenarios.
I just don't want it to end up like the ALPRs we're still waiting for.
Well, they're
Picking it up on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Picking up the car on Wednesday, so.
So remember, the vehicle got an ALPR.
Yeah, what about
And then the
We're on the schedule for the traffic lights, so, you don't understand the hoops we had to jump through, the permits that we had to get, the permissions we had to get from Verizon and everybody else that owns the poles and
I told
the
the chief, we
surveys.
better have an update for you because you were going to ask.
Yep.
Thank you for.
But we are picking up the car. The car is complete.
Car's complete, we'll be able to
The
start running.
complete, yep.
And it's automatic, right? There's no turning it on and off. It automatically
No,
runs.
it automatically goes
As long as
on.
it's on service.
We're going to go down on Wednesday. They're going to give us a tutorial on how it all works.
But I
We're
thought
getting
the
all the
most important
logins.
thing was the traffic signal was more important than the car, because the car is limited. That's got every single person.
Yes,
coming
yes, and that
into
also has video.
The valley.
so-
Yeah, I mean, that's the hub of the valley right there coming. Everybody
Correct.
cheating that doesn't want to go to
Correct.
Woodland Lake will see it.
But there's a lot of cogs in that wheel. Once the company installs them on the poles, then we got to wait for the county to connect it. We got to wait for PSE&G to power it. There's so many permits and requests.
We have a lot
But
of
I'm
PSC
hoping that,
We have a lot of PSC&G employees in town. that can-
we know some people at the county, so, we'll, as soon as they get them on the poles, we will move heaven and earth to get those up and
Thank you.
running, so.
Thank you. And Clayton and Chief, if you want to excuse yourselves, it's going to be Chief.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Clayton.
Thanks for listening to us.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for the explanations.
Chief, did you want to start with the two frontline patrol cars?
Yeah, so, as we've done in the past, we've been asking for 2 vehicles each year. For the last 4 years, we've been accepting one, been given one, and unfortunately, that is coming due. That formula has really started to cost a lot in our maintenance budget. Year to date, right now, I'm at $9,500 in repairs, and I got $2,000 pending the outcome of this budget hearing. So I'm already, a third of my way through my ask, and I don't see that going down. These vehicles run 24/7. They have a ton of idle hours on them. They're going through their warranties quicker. Last year we were able to get a few new cars, but they were a 23 car, 24 car, and eventually a 25 car that just went online 3 weeks ago. So, that was a nice boost, but they're running all the time. So they do get a lot of abuse. It's well over 20,000 miles per vehicle per year. The maintenance costs, the tires that we go through, if we don't refresh them at a quicker pace, what's going to happen is probably by the end of this year, I'm going to be coming to you and asking for 5 vehicles, because that's what happened in 2019. We got to the point where we had no vehicles left, and then we had to ask for like 5 vehicles, and we had to expend a lot more money all at once. If we can at least keep it at 1, I'd prefer 2, obviously. We can hopefully keep these vehicles fresh and not as beat up as they are getting. My fleet is pretty old at this point. We have 8 frontline vehicles. The ALPR car is one of them. That is a 22 car that we repurposed for that. So that should hold up pretty well. That should be on the road pretty much every single day as well. So, we do the best we can with what we got. That's all I can tell you. If we don't keep up with purchasing new vehicles, and now we can finally get them, at a decent time frame. Whereas, there were those couple of years where, we waited over a year for a vehicle. We can get them a lot quicker and hopefully get them upfitted, within a month and get them on the road at a much quicker pace. So that's it on the actual frontline cars. I also proposed another ask for vehicles, but this was for our outside billing details. These are the details where we work for the utility companies and we close roads and stuff. We have a very old fleet there. We have 4 vehicles that we currently use, one of which is a 1033 pickup. The other 3 vehicles are, we'll say tired, because they were patrol vehicles to start with. They have well over 89, 91, 82,000 miles. Last year alone, they cost us $10,000 in repairs. Like I said, one of those vehicles, right now, I'm holding on to a $2,000 bill for front-end work that is needed, but I'm holding off to see where we wind up with this.
Those are self-funding vehicles.
Yes,
So-
they do. They more than pay for themselves, and that's where this proposal is beneficial to the town in many ways. We're proposing purchasing, which is, it's a larger ask, but purchasing 3 Ford hybrid Mavericks to replace our 3 very aged out vehicles. These vehicles with upfitting, which is at a minor version of what we typically do in a patrol car, because we don't need everything in there. They're about $39,000 each. Very minimal graphics. It's just basically to get them on the road.
So this doesn't include upfitting?
No, that includes the upfitting.
39,000 includes upfitting?
Yes, yeah. So the 117 is for all
118.
3. Yeah, 118, I'm sorry. 118 is for the 3 of them to replace the other 3, which then we could get rid of, those 3 vehicles.
What about the other 19 vehicles? Are we getting rid of some of those?
No, unfortunately not. We get rid of whatever we can when we get new vehicles.
Seems like we have a lot of vehicles sitting there.
It seems like it until
Well, there's 19.
like last week. If
There's 19 plus.
it is 20 vehicles.
No, it's more.
But if you look at, I have 8 patrol vehicles that are my frontline vehicles. These are fully upfitted. They have the computers. These are the ones with all the equipment in the back. Okay. Those vehicles, I had 5 of those out last week. Okay. Into this week. Now I have 4 this week. I got 1 back. So yeah, we have a lot of vehicles, it looks like, in the lot, but 4 of those vehicles are SLEO vehicles. They're out every single day. They go to the schools, and then my SLEO 2 is in the other 4th one. The 4 other vehicles, okay, now we're up to 8. That's my traffic cars that we just spoke about, okay? We have an admin vehicle. We have 2 admin vehicles. We have a 1033 vehicle that doesn't really cost us much. And then we have a detective's car, and we have a motorcycle. It's really not that much when you really look at it. I know it looks like a lot, but we take 2 or 3 cars that are down, and we don't have anything to drive around in. So, and that's the problem we're starting to run into. Like I said, 5 vehicles last week, and I'm shuffling around guys in old vehicles, throwing equipment in them. They don't have computers, so they're at a deficiency. They can't do their jobs properly without the equipment. That's all I could say. This plan, if adopted, those vehicles would more than pay for themselves from the outside billing money.
What did we do in outside billing in 2025?
I'll look at your revenue sheet, sir, in the front of the, I can get the number for you, but if you look at.
If you don't mind. Carl.
Yeah. So 2025, we realized $460.
Do we anticipate doing that again?
Well, again, we try to go conservative because we never know what vendors are gonna,
That's what I'm saying. Do we have, because
So
we had a lot of
we-
PSC&G work last year, so.
Well,
Last year was actually a slow year.
Oh,
So we back in the day, before it slowed down, we were averaging over 200, 250 just on the car. So, if some of that money was put back into these vehicles, we could, easily, put these vehicles on the road for a nominal price. They're pickup trucks. We're not going to abuse them as much because we're going to throw everything in the back. These vehicles are going to last, in my opinion, easily 10 years with no issues. They're hybrids, so they're not fully electric, so we don't have to worry about that fully electric stuff, but it will save on gas because when they're sitting there idling, it will drop to the battery. You get less wear and tear on the engine, and it's still charging the system. So, I think it's a win-win, not only for the department, for the environment, and for the overall cost. If we purchase these vehicles, you have 3-year warranty. So you're not going to incur any costs other than oil changes, maybe a flat tire, but you're not even going to wear out tires in 3 years because they don't really go too far. They're not on patrol. They're not going around the town. They go to a location and they kind of sit. So, I think it makes sense.
Question, they're hybrids, so where are they going to be charged?
They don't need to be charged. They have battery packs, but they have a motor that charges the battery packs.
Okay.
So they're not a fully electric EV vehicle.
Okay.
Just a question on the outside billing, the revenue side.
Yes.
Is that net or gross? So, so what was it, 195?
Right, so that's our take from the 35%, the vehicle fee, and then there's like an equipment fee. So that's.
That doesn't include the officer's salaries?
No,
No,
they pay that separate.
no, this is what the township made.
That's, okay.
Yeah.
And just a question, Chief, the SLEOs, the SLEO 3s, those are the school resource, they have a car?
Yes.
It's a requirement or it's?
Yes, that was part of the agreement, that they have a black and white in front of the school to hopefully, show that there's always a police officer there. So,
Thank you.
which we want to do. They have some of the oldest cars, but again, they don't really go anywhere. They don't cost us that much, but
So you
they
can go back
are,
and forth to the school.
that's it, yeah. So it's minimal, the cost so far with those vehicles. It's been pretty minimal, but, they are aging vehicles. They're 17s and 18s. Two 18s, two 17s. So, older patrol vehicles, but they're in good shape, and, we don't foresee any issues there.
What do you
Can I
want?
ask a question about that?
Sure.
Chief, if these three work out well for the outside, could you see in a year or two, could you do these for the schools also?
We could.
Because they don't need to be full patrol vehicles,
No, as long as they look like a patrol car.
and the school just pay us.
Yeah.
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 Okay, thank you.
Yeah, the agreement is that they pay for any equipment and stuff. A vehicle, we might have to negotiate that, but,
Okay, thank you.
because that's a little bit higher cost, but, and we have a fourth school that's coming online, so we have to consider that as well.
Chief, did you also explain to the council that if they did approve these three purchases, you feel that you could reduce your request in the police vehicle line?
Yeah, I would hope that I would be able to. I increased it to 30,000 on my maintenance budget. We went, I think, 37 last year, if I remember correctly. It's off the top of my head.
And are we going to auction some police vehicles off?
Yeah, we could definitely auction at least two of them. We might need one of them for this fourth SLEO 3 that is just hit my desk this week, so request.
That's
So,
an in-town school?
yes. So I'll talk about that.
Yeah, that should probably be a closed.
Yeah, no, I'm not
Yeah,
asking
yeah.
them which one it is. There's only one left, so.
Right.
Okay, what about the rifles? What are we doing with these rifles?
So what we've been doing, our rifles are closing in on 10 years old. Each officer has one. We've been slowly updating them with new rifles. We've been using our line under Guns and Ammos, and we've been purchasing like 3 or 4 rifles each year. So we got half the department done. This ask would complete the other half. We're at the point now where we have to do a lot of maintenance on the rifles, where we have to go with trigger springs and rebuilds of the moving parts within the rifles. We're estimating that around $5,000-ish, because we need armor schools for our officers as well, which they don't come that often. So this would convert the rest of the department over in one shot, and then my entire department would have new rifles in their hands. And then we wouldn't have to talk about this for another 5 to 6 years. So,
Chief, you also said if you were able to get the funding for this, you could reduce
yes.
the ammunition line.
So we did ask for $2,000 more in our guns and ammo line. That was in hopes that we could maybe, instead of getting 3 guns, maybe get 5 guns. But if I can get the capital ask, I could reduce that back down to the original of last year's ask on that. Again, these things just take so much wear and tear. They're being fired 4 times a year for our qualifications, and they require maintenance. And there are better weapons out there. These are better units. We're putting Colts in the hands of our officers versus our older weapons. And then if this is able to come to fruition, we are in the process of actually working with the county to demo the new generation of Glock guns. Sorry, it's a little bit of a tangent, but we're actually going this week, and we're doing a demo with different vendors and stuff, and we actually have put this in motion to put out the new generation of the Glock, which corrects some of the issues that you may have seen on the news. And that may parlay its way into us getting updated handguns with virtually no cost, additional cost. I would be able to do it within my budget and trade in my other rifles. It's all contingent upon, if I get the capital ask, then I'll have enough rifles to barter to get the updated guns with the trade-in, and I might be able to do where this year we have all new guns, and then we don't have to bother you guys for at least 5 to 7 years.
When do we know if that comes? Do you need the capital for?
Yeah, I mean, I would just need to know, if we're doing the capital, if we think that's an approved thing, then
We'll get back to
I
you.
could move forward then with getting the cost. I've gotten a preliminary cost, and I think, we can make it work for a nominal cost, which would be a huge improvement for our department as well.
We'll get back to you.
And Chief and Council President, going to the police vehicle line, you requested an increase from 23 to 30, but you felt you could reduce it back down to a request of 23 if you were able to get the capital approved for the 3 side job cars.
I'd be careful with that low, but yeah,
repeating what you
I
told
mean,
me.
well,
Peace day.
we spent 37 last year, so, I only went to 30, but like I said, I'm at 95 right now. I can't foresee what's going to break, what's not. I got a transmission right now that went in one of my mainline cars, so that's $7,000 with a fuel pump. So, things cost a lot of money now. So, but yes, I could reduce that line. I'd probably feel more comfortable around 25 in hopes that, the rest of the fleet, continues to run efficiently.
Anything else, Mr. Carlo?
If you could hear me out for a second, one, I do really want to extend my appreciation for allowing the exchange with the department heads from the council president and the council. I thank you. There was about 6 or 7 lines I wanted to go through with the police chief, but I do realize it's getting late and it will take a little bit of time. Would council
Can we ask
consider?
the chief to come back to those lines if he thinks he needs to?
That's what I was going to ask you. If you're going to start with the police next time and actually
Yeah,
approve the
well,
lines.
if we don't have any distractions.
It's 7 lines, right? Is that what we're looking at?
No, well, if you could
It's a-
just hear me
it's
out
gonna
for
be a-
1
it's
second,
gonna be a big discussion.
there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines that we wanted to have the chief available because it involves an increase. But if you were willing to invite the police chief to come back, I was going to ask if you could have the
Yeah, we'll do that
outsourcing,
first. Yeah, we'll
the
do that first.
outsourcing, the dispatch outsourcing conversation as
Yeah.
well?
Yeah.
Next week?
Yes.
Okay.
Can't bang it out in 20 minutes.
Next.
No, because we're not doing
Is it next,
outsourcing.
is it next
dispatch.
Monday?
Yeah.
I'm not available.
How about the following Monday? We'll be here.
I might, what time, 7?
Yeah, we can get you.
Listen to him.
Flying in around 5:30, I
Okay,
don't
you
know.
want to keep the dispatch then?
What if you days later? What if you don't start?
What about if it's later, Chief Carr? Is later better?
Yeah, my flight's coming in at 5:30, so.
Oh, so we can do later. We'll do when he gets.
To Newark, so, yeah, exactly. So,
I don't feel we need fire DPW back.
No.
You heard everything you need to. It's just, there's a bunch of lines that are associated with the dispatch.
It's
And
closer
then
to
there's
8, I
a
think. we can
few,
make it work.
few lines that are
I'd
dispatch.
like to have I'd like to not be doing it at 9:45 at night when we're all, tired and ready to go. So
You gotta get more sleep, Mike, that's your problem.
I got plenty of sleep, Mr.
I just,
Go ahead, Mr. Ehrlich.
outside of, this is not a question for the chief, but I do think we need to look, when we're looking at the capital requests, should they be in capital or should they be in
the budget?
current budget? Because if we look, Mr. DeCarlo forwarded the analysis that was done by Acacia. And depending on which scenario you look at, for every 100K that we borrow, the interest, the servicing of that is $43,000.
Yeah, a lot of money.
And we'll be paying for it till 2049.
Yeah.
So if we get a car this year, we're going to be paying for it in 23 more years.
Doesn't make sense.
So I really think, again, Chief, not directed at you.
Sure.
The ask is the ask, but do we want it to be in capital or do we want it to be in
Regular.
current?
Yeah.
I would just remind the council, one of the reasons we moved it is, and I don't know if it's still the case, the delay in getting vehicles. If you approve it this year, but because of time delays, they can't get it.
Yeah, but I understand that,
Yeah,
but
I just bring it to everyone's attention.
but I think we need to take this into advisement of paying a vehicle for, $46,000 for the next,
23 years.
23 years is
In the scrapyard.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
Thank you.
if they can't get the vehicle, there's no other mechanism that I'm aware of other than capital.
No, we could just put it into.
And you lose it that year.
I believe the life of the equipment is considered as well. I don't know how to explain
Not when
that
they
as far as the
permanently-
amortization, but.
No, when they permanently bond it.
But doesn't it try and blend the average life of every piece of equipment that?
I know.
That is the blend.
Oh,
That is the blend,
Yeah.
because they
All right.
had the,
Motion to adjourn. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
they had the
Hold on a
building.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Ricky, we are off.
You know,